Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We've got Game 2 for our first day of the European Starladder Season 9 Round Robin. Alliance versus Cleave. Gods, what's the good word coming into this next match?
Well, I feel like I should know, but I don't know. Cleave are a team that no one really knows. I think they came up from the Pro Series, is my guess. That's how you get into the Star Series. You make your way up the Pro Series. It's kind of the infrastructure Starladder built where you can work your way up the ladder system, and Cleave have done that. They've made it into the Star Series here. And, well, they're up against Alliance in their opening match, so this will be a tough one. But we can introduce them here. You can see their roster and get a feel for who these guys are.
Yeah, get a gander at their statistics. They are Stress, Roger, Lawlick, Zako, and today they actually have a stand-in Yamaha. So,
yep.
Well, should be interesting. They'll certainly have their work cut out for them, though, for the first match coming up. Alliance is, I think, safe to say the heavy favorites here coming into this match.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Alliance are the team to beat often, and here in Starladder it's no different. You've got your Alliance, you've got your Na'Vi. They're the two big names, and Alliance, this to me should be just Alliance looking to get their campaign for Season 9 off to a good start. Season 9, not Season 8, as Alliance
Season
tried
9.
to tweet.
Yes, that was a little bit of a mistweet there, of course. We are in Season 9. That's worth reiterating here. But Cleave with the Ancient Apparition first pick, man. We talked about it last game. This hero's been coming into the competitive scene in full force. But first pick, wow.
Yeah, it doesn't reveal too much, and you can... I feel like you can do enough with it as far as laning, as you can put in safe lane with it as support, you can put in the off lane, that it does do okay as a first pick. You don't really, there's no real must pick first pick heroes in the current metagame, it feels like.
Yeah, I would kind of agree with that. One of the things about AA is in some cases you almost have to build a team around him a little bit in such a way that we've seen that Ancient Apparition Venomancer combo a couple of times. And that can be pretty powerful if you have the right scenario. The one time we saw that work really well, I think was in the show match of Liquid versus Cloud9, where they had the Veno actually going mid, and they ended up grabbing a position 5 Abaddon to pair with the Ancient Apparition. So it was a little bit of that flex pick, and having the Veno in the driver's seat worked okay. But having AA and then another support that doesn't have any sort of crowd controls can be a bit of a double-edged sword there.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we'll see where Cleave want to go with this. The Veno you talk about has been banned on the first stage. Seems to be becoming a more and more common ban. Invoker, no real surprises there. The new Quaswex Invoker is just a bit of a pain to deal with. And Alliance goes straight into that Admiral Bulldog Clockwork. They get the S4 Batrider. They kind of reveal their lanes right off the bat, but they just don't care. It's unlikely you see Clockwork go anywhere except the off lane. You could put him safely in a 1v1, but he's not really a great 1v1er in the... If you're going safe laning in a 1v1 matchup, it's likely you have a bit of a mismatch depending on who Cleave pick up there. Yeah,
that's true. And Clockwork, like I said last game, he's been a big playmaker throughout this entire patch. He's been a very valuable pick, and Batrider as well. Some teams are still utilizing Bat. He ain't what he used to be, but he's still a pretty darn powerful hero, and he can definitely still pick up some momentum, kind of snowball down the hill. Alliance, obviously, though, they've got their initiation on lockdown here.
Yeah. Oh, they've got
that's for sure.
You're set. You're done as far as needing initiation goes. They may just get some more because they can, but that's a bit of a worry. Ancient Apparition is a hero very vulnerable to it. Not to say he's going to be getting initiated on anyways, because generally there's going to be more high priority targets, and that's going to be your solo heroes, your carry heroes. So Cleave have to be careful about what they pick up. They need heroes that are at least somewhat durable and won't just capitulate to this aggressive Alliance lineup.
Yeah, well, Ancient Apparition is definitely susceptible to the wrath of Clockwork. Because, you need a Force Staff to kind of deal with the cogs, and AA is a hero that, A, won't have a lot of farm, and B, once he gets it, will probably be working towards an Ag Scepter before a Force Staff, because it's just so good. Where do you rank that Ag's upgrade? That's something that we've been talking about. Marlene and I have kind of collectively agreed that it's definitely top tier. Maybe not the best, but the upper echelon.
It would, I feel like I have to look through more of the heroes to fully decide. But
it's hard to call it core on AA because it's relatively rare that he gets the farm for it.
And he's a support. Yeah, it's like a support.
But when he gets it, man, if it's one of those games that goes long enough where AA hits level 16 and has the Ag Scepter, if you connect with a support on that Ice Blast,
Okay.
it's ridiculous. It'll take a Crystal Maiden down to at least half health with just the ultimate.
I think it maybe is one of the best. I don't know if it's maybe too big to say the actual best, because it's one of the only heroes where you just straight up go Ag's first item.
I see you mousing over that Enchantress over there.
Turn to ban.
Oh no,
Making a joke about Enchantress cosplay.
oh, coming soon. But, yeah, there's not many other heroes where you always go Ag Scepter. Like there's maybe you'll get like your Urn first. You'll get a few other small things first. But yeah, Tiny's probably up there. I mean, you can play Tiny as a non-carry, although it's not really.
People do that.
People used to.
People used to.
Where you go like your solo mid Arcane Boots Blink Dagger Tiny.
Oh yeah.
This is going like back 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, that's really fallen off. I saw that in a pub game a few weeks ago, but not in competitive.
It's annoying and fun. Like you just try burst down single targets. It's actually not the worst thing. You go for like a later after you get your Blink 4-star Arcane Boots, you can go for Dagon and stuff. But we're not going to be seeing much of that here.
Yeah. So these next bans coming out, Alliance will take out Doom and Enigma, and Cleave will ban out Dazzle and Rubik. 2 very smart bans. Obviously, Alliance will need a couple of supports here, but not to worry. They'll grab the Bane Elemental here with their 3rd pick.
Yep. Alliance have been running a lot of Dazzle lately, but they're perfectly happy to switch over to the Bane. So they used Bane recently against Sigma. I think it was a game next went for a level 1 Roche. But Cleave going to go for a Visage now. So they got Visage AA. You generally want to go for the 2 range supports with an AA just because it synergizes well with the Chilling Touch. And we'll have to see what rounds off they're trialing. They really need a setup because Visage AA are kind of like your follow-up. You have the follow-up Cold Feet / Chilling Touch. You have a Soul Assumption to follow as well. But whatever carry they get needs to have some kind of initiation, it feels like. Which would have been Nakes, except Alliance take the Nakes for themselves.
I was just thinking a Lifestealer might work well for a scary tri-lane from Cleave, but a nice deny pick from Alliance, and also a solid carry for themselves. He'll pair nicely with that Clockwork, with the Infest Bombs, so a pretty well-rounded draft for Alliance to get things kicked off here.
Yeah, this is just a very typical Alliance lineup, but a very strong one. Like, they get a lot of players on their sort of signature heroes, and they've got strong lanes, great initiation, good team fight. There's really just no holes or gaps in this lineup. They've got a Bane with a Bane and Batrider, 2 ultis that go through BKB, so Cleave can't just look to build into a BKB carry hero. Cleave have the same thing. They've got a Magnus RP, so they can deal with the Lifestealer Rage and all that, but they've got 2 support heroes which will struggle against Lifestealer. If he gets in there and up to the Visage AA, those heroes melt to Lifestealer.
Yeah. And how appropriate that Team Cleave picked the Magnus. Get a little bit of that Empower. They're going to be cleaving all over the place. But whoa, 4th pick, Tinker, thrown into the mix.
Yeah, I saw that when you were mousing over their stats in the pregame, like they had 2 games played, and I saw a Tinker there, and I thought, Tinker would be fun to see.
Yeah. Maybe we can take a look here. What do we have?
Generally much stronger on the Radiant side as well, Tinker. Well, it depends. On Dire side, you have the Ancients right there if you're in the offlane. On Radiant side, you have the Ancients if you're a mid hero. So you can, as a Radiant mid, you can stack Ancients before you check the rune and continue to do that. For the Dire side, if you're in the offlane, you have the Ancients right there. But
yeah, unfortunately, there's not a lot of data here in the database for Team Cleave. We only have 4 matches total parsed. I don't know if this is pulled from Dat Dota or where Starladder has all their...
1 win, 3 losses.
Yeah,
okay.
1 win, 3 losses. But their 1 win was when they picked Tinker. He does have that 100% win rate. So,
cool.
You never know. Maybe they have an epic Tinker player on their side. That
Alliance have just got a cool pick.
Whoa, Axe.
Could look 4 position Axe for, I guess, generally EGM plays those greedy supports. So this could well be his hero.
Support. Really, it looks like just a single support kind of a lineup here with dedicated Axe jungle. But very interesting.
Aki probably deep down wishes that they go back to picking Chen and Enchantress, just because when he plays Chen and Enchantress, it means EGM has to play support. I mean, well, Chen kind of is... Chen depends. If Chen's rushing the mech, then yeah, but sometimes Chen can be that hard support as well, but...
Yeah.
Well, not much time for Cleave. They need whatever their core hero is going to be. Tinker could be in the tri lane here. That's the other thing to consider, because Tinker and Mag both do better in the mid lane than the off lane. They go Luna though, so.
All right, so is this maybe they'll go aggressive try solo safe lane Tinker Magnus in the mid, or I guess you could interchange. Magnus could be solo safe lane against a solo Clockwork in the off. that could work out pretty well. I'm really excited to see this Axe, though, and see how he fares. That's a hero that, again, to reference Merlini, he claims a little bit underrated, not as bad as he has a rap for, you know. What do you think about Axe Gods?
He's nifty. He can offer a lot. Yeah.
Is that a nice way to say he's not that strong?
It's a bit of a euphemism there. I don't love the hero, but I think if you draft around him, he can be very strong. And I don't feel Alliance have necessarily drafted around an Axe pick this game. Not to say it's not going to work. Alliance managed to pull off a lot of things. I'm sure they've got a good plan for this one. And it's not going to be EGM on Axe. We get an Ake Axe.
Interesting.
Perhaps. Yeah.
That's very interesting.
Unless they swap things around.
Yeah. So, all right, we will move into a pause here to get things started. But feeling a little bit better with these overlays, getting the hang of all these buttons I have at my disposal over here. It'll be exciting once Starladder actually gets rolling, and what's really cool about this overlay system is it populates the data from the Starladder database, so we can look at like the group statistics and all those stats live. And once we have more stuff, we can actually look at stats relative to like the overall team stats that we just saw for Cleave versus how they're doing in just this season of Starladder.
So could we like push a button right now and see the standings with every team?
We certainly could do that. We can check it out. It'll be a little bit lackluster because...
Amuse me.
Hey, look, no one has played any games except the one that we saw earlier today that hasn't been put in yet. But beautiful overlays. Starladder's really up in their game this season, just across the board.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
but,
Bigger prize pool, global.
Yeah.
This is the biggest Dota 2 league. For looking at the big picture, looking at the throughout the year, they're going to run multiple seasons. They've got teams from all around the world playing, and it's going to be a big LAN finals. It's really exciting to be a part of it.
It really is. You know, Starladder are they the longest running tournament in Dota 2? Starladder season 9, like consistently putting out seasons?
Yeah.
I think they are. No
one else has reached anywhere near that.
Season 9. They've just put out so much content.
Yeah.
It's
tournaments
amazing.
reach like season 4, maybe season 5, but
yeah.
Starladder's just...
And Starladder's had some
zoomed
pretty
ahead.
interesting story. We were just talking about it at dinner last night. You know, Four Friends and Krilly, a team that existed basically just for Starladder. You know, they became almost a little bit of a fan favorite, the underdog story at its best. So there have been some good times here in Starladder. It's been fun to be a part of it. But hopefully,
I feel like a lot of young talent have gotten recognized there. I mean, we talked a bit about Resolution, and he kind of made his first big appearance in IC Cup, like back in season 6, I think it was, and that was where I was like, this guy's got a lot of talent. And later on, he goes on to get picked up, and now he's playing with the big boys.
Yeah, yeah. So. Resolution's been looking strong lately, man. Speaking of kind of a breakout player, he's always been strong, but recently he's been on fire. Well. Looks like Tinker here having some connection issues. Old Lolik. Hopefully he can reconnect.
Alliance have swapped things up. They've actually got S4 on the clockwork, which puts Bulldog on Batrider, and I feel like they may be just dodging the offensive tri-lane. So they're going to say, we don't want to go up against a Luna Visage AA tri-lane. We'll send Bulldog to the safe lane, and just hopefully he survives, distracts him and annoys him as much as possible, and Axe either creep skipping or just being annoying at bottom lane could cause Cleave some problems here.
Yeah, one of the things I worry about for the Cleave lineup right now is that just their ability to initiate or counter-initiate. Alliance have two great initiators between Batrider and Clockwork, so even if Cleave get the jump on them, Alliance have that counter-initiate, and even if Alliance initiate and then Magnus gets a decently timed blink and then hops in for some counter-initiate, they even have someone else to counter that counter. So I don't know. I worry a little bit. There's a lot riding on the back of this Magnus, though it looks like we will have a quick remake here. So I guess we should just hop out and hop on in. Let's go back to...
Let's see you work your magic.
Yeah, see some magic here. There we go. So we'll keep you guys company. Hopefully it'll be just a quick remake, and we can hop right back into it.
I always panic when I'm disconnecting from games.
Yeah, me too. I always worry.
Remaking?
Like, am I clicking the wrong button here? We were having an issue with when we were casting one of the Asian turns. It was either Korean or Chinese, and let me sit down first. There we go, that's good.
You used to be able to double-click join channel. I miss those days. So I could join the channel first, but be in the second slot.
Yeah.
Now it won't let me.
So here we go. I've got our lobby up, and hopefully it'll get rolling here momentarily. But yeah, we're having an issue where it's weird how you can be on the same connection, computers right next to each other, and one person is flawless on the Chinese servers, and the other person's watching like a slideshow. So I kept having to reconnect and disconnect and reconnect, and I wasn't sure because you actually can leave the game versus just reconnect, and I couldn't remember which button it was. And I asked Merlini, and he said, "Oh, don't worry about it." And I was like, "I'm not going to take that advice, my friend. I am worried about it. I don't want to leave the game." So I just kept resetting Dota.
Yeah, we used to have that at the old studio, and it was a lot of fun when we. For a while, it was always the same computer, so we're like, let's just switch them, and then it didn't stay with the computer. It randomly would switch to the other one. So we're like, okay, so
it doesn't
it's
make
quite
sense.
random.
It's really weird. It was it threw our intern for a loop though. He was trying to troubleshoot. It's like there must be something wrong with the computer, and I'm like, maybe we should just chalk this one up to servers, man. Let's not lose sleep over it.
I'm willing to blame the intern. That's what I'm
willing to blame the intern. Yeah,
when in doubt, that's what he's here for.
Unfortunately, Roland's really nice, so I can't feel good about abusing him. But in my head, at least, I have all of these fun euphemisms.
I've only been here 24 hours, so I don't know that he's nice yet. So I'll abuse him while I can.
Yeah, that's. He made us a hearty breakfast. A big shout out to Roland. Eggs and bacon, get some protein in you. Well, you didn't have any.
Dinner?
No, I had. Oh, you did? You had some of the delicious Malaysian style eggs.
Oh, good.
It's a joke because they were regular eggs.
Well, I was thinking back. I was like, what were there like some special spices on there I didn't know about?
They're just cooked by Malaysian.
Okay.
Adding the Malaysian flair to the mix.
Cool.
He does make some mean eggs though. Apparently, bacon was very exciting for Roland as well. Like they eat a lot of pork in Malaysia, but they don't have the like real fatty bacon cuts. So we've been eating a lot of bacon in your absence here.
I don't know if I should look forward to that.
Probably the #1 consumed food in the house. I think if we had to like one particular food, it's either bacon or chicken. We bought a lot of chicken at Sam's Club as well.
We've moved up in the world. We used to eat lots of lasagna at the old house.
Oh, that's a good one.
It was just frozen lasagna. we had this one time where I was casting with Lumi, and we had lasagna, and I think I had to like skip out of the cast because the game went too long and the lasagna was in the oven and was going to burn or something. So we had a big lasagna debacle.
A lasagna disaster. Interesting.
Yeah. So after that, I never cooked lasagna again when there was casting going on because it led to too many problems.
Oh boy, the lasagna sabotage. Oh man. So all right, let's think about these lanes a little bit from Alliance. It looks like they will stick to the heroes that they had swapped to before the remake, so it will be S4 playing on Clockwork. Looks like he will be slated for a solo mid lane role. Bulldog on Bulldong as he is here. On the Bat Rider in the off lane.
Raise your Bulldogs.
Raise your Bulldogs, guys. HyperX style. And Ake will be playing on the Axe, presumably in the jungle. EGM on the support Bane, which means up top it will be Loda on the position 1 Lifestealer doing a little bit of safe lane farming.
Well, over on the Radiant side, the lesser-known team from Russia, Team Cleave. We've got the Magnus being played by Zako. We've got Tinker in the hands of
Lolik?
Lolik? Okay.
Well, I think.
Yep, looks about right. We're going to see Ancient Apparition being played by Blue, who is Stress. We've got Roger playing the Visage, and then finally the standard Yamaha going to be on the Luna. So that's your safe lane carry. They're going safe lane, tri lane. And it's going to be up against just a standard off lane Bat Rider, so no lane dodging or anything of that sort.
Yep. So Luna should have an okay start at least, getting things rolling. Bulldog, well, he'll struggle to get his initial farm. One of the problems with having Axe in the jungle is Bulldog won't have that opportunity just to quickly rotate into the jungle if this offlane doesn't go his way. If he has a misstep and maybe takes an early spill, he's going to be forced to go back to lane to some degree.
Aki needs to be careful. He's running up the hill here directly into these two supports. They can't kill him on their own. They've got... Chilling Touch, Soul Assumption's there as well, but now Aki's going to get out. Alliance misread these lanes. They were expecting an offensive trial, and they're thinking Axe can go bottom, be annoying up against a safe lane solo, because just looking at Loda's items, he's got 8 Tengos and a Sal. These are items you get if you're expecting an offensive trial, and he doesn't really need these against the mag. Maybe in a 1v1 you want to have lots of regen like this, but this is not the lanes that Alliance were expecting. Aki's going to realize he can't go jungle bot. He's got to go back to his own jungle and just farm away there, which isn't too big of a problem.
Yep, he'll go ahead and do that. A pretty standard Axe opener here with a double Stout Shield and a set of Tangos. Still very curious to see the path that he ends up taking throughout the jungle and how he stacks and utilizes this axe, the gank timings, all that stuff. He's just not a hero we get to see too often, so I'm excited to see how he builds him. And speaking of building axe, Vanguard is an item that comes to mind, but one that has been under hot debate. How do you like Vanguard, Gods? Draft or shaft?
I draft it. For an especially a hero like Axe, yeah.
Yeah.
It's not like a must-buy item necessarily, but it gives you all you need. You get the HP regen, you get HP. Axe benefits from it for sure.
Yeah. There are certain heroes that benefit from it a little bit more than others. I know Merlini just hates that item. He is anti-Vanguard.
I actually tuned into a stream today, and he had a Vanguard, and he was just flaming the hell out of the item. Like, he died to this Slark, and he's like, I had this Vanguard, and it was just useless. Like, it didn't, like, he took like 600 physical damage from a Slark, and he's like, why do I buy a Vanguard if I'm still taking 600 physical damage?
Yeah.
I think it was because he got right-clicked like about 30 times, so if you let that happen, it's going to add up. But
yeah, it's an interesting item. The problem with Vanguard is it's just very time-dependent. It's one of those, sort of like Radiance. It does a static amount, so the earlier you get it, the more effective it is, and it doesn't really scale that well into the late game.
The other problem with Axe is you really want to get your Blink Dagger up as fast as possible, as well as whatever other items to go with that, so it slows down that blink a lot, and it's hard to gank with Vanguard plus Tranquil Boots. You can't really rotate all that easily.
You know, Axe reminds me of Starladder a little bit in terms of the things that he suffers from. You really need the blink, but the blink alone almost isn't enough, so you have to find that sweet spot of farming and ganking because, you know.
He's kind of doing neither right now, but he's being a pain in the bloody ass of this Tinker.
Yeah.
Come mid, cast Battle Hunger, and Tinker gets pushed back.
Yeah, not a bad bit of harassment, and it will pretty much zone out Lolik. He will grab the bottle back from his courier, and will be continuing to bottle crow a little bit. Though I guess Ake is doing all right so far. He is level 4, which is the important thing. He's finding experience. He's not getting under-leveled. His farm is nothing too crazy right now, but he will rotate up top, and they might be able to pick something up onto the Magnus here. Oh, we see EGM setting it up, trying to bait Magnus in as he dives the tower. And Ake coming in, Magnus moving into the trees. He does have a skewer.
Yeah, he can skewer out of this one. Alliance don't want to overcommit. Their priority right now is the tower. If they can get the mag, great, but go diving for it. They force him back. They force out a skewer as well as a Tango, and at this point, Zacho cannot defend this tier 1 tower. Skewer has a decent-sized cooldown, which means he's going to be pushed right back. He may have overstayed his welcome. Loader got very close to getting off an open wounds there.
Yep, and oh gosh, of course, as that's happening, we missed the first blood on Admiral Bulldog here. Looks like he just moved into the wrong place at the wrong time as he moved into the jungle and
died right by the Ancients in the end there. I missed that one as well. We've got a
mutual tunnel vision here.
The top lane's kind of where the bigger, even though the first blood happened bottom, this top lane's where the main actual action's happening, even if there's not going to be a kill here. Tower this early on is a pretty big deal for Alliance.
Yeah, and it's interesting to note that Axe does not have Berserker's Call right now, and even just the threat of him having it is enough to zone out Magnus right now. The 1v3 is a factor as well, but the taunt is what's particularly scary, and he doesn't even have it, so they'll intimidate back the Magnus, grab that tier 1 tower. And Magnus, wow, he's only 1-1 right now compared to the 29-8 Loda on the Lifestealer. So safe to say, Magnus won't have a blink anytime soon here in this match.
Yeah, the CS isn't great, but with it pushed out, he will get experience, which is what's slightly more important. And he can last it okay under his tower. So he's just all about getting that level 6 Arcane Boots up at a reasonable-ish time, which he can probably do a bit better with his tower down, but it means Loda's got 1,500 gold. If he wants to get that Midas, he can get it pretty early on. He's going to go more aggressive. He gets the fast phase boots, and this is just going to zone Zacho completely out of this lane. A phase boots plus Orb of Venom means if he comes near this lane, he's just going to go down.
Yeah, and even though Bulldog did take a spill, he's doing all right. He's almost level 5, at least halfway through level 4, so we see a rotation from S4. He is level 6 now, looking for a hookshot in mid. Ake will dive the tower. There's the hookshot, does connect with 2. Cogs come out. Oh, beautiful Cogs. They knock out the Magnus, trap in the Tinker. Skewer in, and now this Marching Machine doing a lot of damage. Roger will join the fray as well. He grabs a kill on Ake. And S4 not out of the clear quite yet. He does have a double damage rune on, but he will make it back to safety. So a bit of a disastrous gank there from Alliance. They do get turned around on.
Yeah, nicely played. That skewing the clockwork out of his own cogs, saving the Tinker's life there, and Visage with an unexpected kind of hero to TP in because he doesn't really have that much to turn around and gank it, but they had the damage they needed, and Alliance down 2 kills early on, so Not really the ideal start for them.
Yeah, but they still have a huge gold lead of about 2,500, even a decent experienced lead as well. So even though they haven't picked up the kill advantage, Loda has a disproportionate amount of the farm, and also just having Axe in the jungle has opened up a little bit more of lane efficiency for them. Even just looking at last hits, Axe 24-0 with neutrals, and the 2 supports on Cleave only have 4 creep kills across the 2 of them. So another disparity there. And again, Axe doing very well on the level chart. He is level 5, so Ake staying a level up against the Radiant support.
TP to the bottom lane from S4. He's looking to back up Batrider, but he gets spotted by a lane ward here, so a bit ambitious, because whether there's a lane ward or even like often you'll see wards like in the jungle trees here somewhere, it's very likely you get spotted with that TP rotation, especially since it hasn't even hit 7 minutes when those first observer wards expire.
Right, and he will move around the tree line looking for an opening. He doesn't find it. Now S4 will just rotate towards the mid. This is the time when Clockwork can be pretty aggressive. Unfortunately, he's not a level 7, though. That last point in Battery Assault would really up the amount of damage he can put out.
Yeah.
Though, still able to pick up kills. No doubt. Hook shot off the mark. Ooh, S4.
These observer wards from Cleave are different, but they're working really well. Like, to not have either... Actually, okay, they've got a 3rd ward up, which they just put on the top rune, but until that one hit, they had 2 wards up, neither of them on a rune spot. So they've actually saved most of their observer wards, because they've got 3 wards up, all planted very recently, and they've got great vision, and this is where you need the vision. Clock's hit level 6, you need the vision more now than you do at the very start. So they actually saved observer wards for later on in the game, and it's paying off, because they can avoid these Clockwork ganks, and 8 minutes in, Clockwork's been level 6 for a while, and has not found a single kill.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. Tinker, well, he's level 7, working towards his boots of travel. He's got about 1,500 in the bank, so he'll have those bots before too long. Not the fastest timing. We've seen Tinker's snowball a little bit more effectively and get his bots out right around that 9-minute mark. So he is off to a reasonably slow start in comparison to other Tinkers, but not too bad. He's at least avoided death more than once, which is good news as we see Bane on the high ground here. Only level 5. We've got 3 points in Brain Sap. Without Fiend's Grip, I think sitting up a kill here will be rather difficult.
Yep. And
Batrider, well, he'll just get pushed into the side of the map, no problem. Luna did go for Midas after Brown Boots had them up just about a minute ago, right around that 7:30 mark. And, well, following that, Loda will go ahead and grab a Midas of his own. Won't be the super fast Midas like you mentioned. He did get Phase Boots first, but does have the Midas complete on the Courier, and it is in transit right now. So a Midas apiece here in our Cleave versus Alliance matchup.
Yeah, I prefer this from... I like this from Loda, getting the Phase Boots first. Even though he hasn't got any kills with it, he's managed to just cause the Magnus to be completely scared and zoned out of the lane and restricted his farm a lot. So, while it doesn't get him a kill, it kind of pays off by just slowing down the mag, slows down the Arcane Boots, slows down the Blink Dagger, and also prevents him getting the experience because he's so scared of just getting dived into the tower by a Phase Boots next.
Yep. Axe is continuing to farm pretty well also. Did get early Tranquils following that double Stout Shield opener. Sitting level 8, still no points in the Berserker's Call. There you go, level 8 will put the first point. And it's going Battle Hunger primary, not counter Helix. So there is some gank potential here for Ake, even though he's been pretty quiet in the jungle.
And yeah, with this is where I feel Axe is kind of just a bit not as strong as like I guess where you almost have to build around him. Like you get a level 7 Axe, you get the max up Battle Hunger, but it's still hard to rotate around the map and be annoying. I can see Aki still feels like he needs to farm. You get that level 7, you don't really have your Blink Dagger up yet, you don't have your Vanguard yet, you're still kind of just stuck in this jungle for that bit longer. Yeah. He does have a TP scroll, so if something happens in one of the lanes, he can get there and be ready to help out.
Yeah, and you know, I just keep thinking, like, what if this was an Enchantress? All of those early level pieces of aggression that she can put out compared to someone like Axe. So, still yet to come online, but luckily for Alliance, with a Midas on both sides, everyone seems pretty okay with just sitting back and farming, which will benefit Alliance in the long run.
S4's fishing a top lane for a hook, and well, Magnus can secure out of that, and nope, he's gonna give up. He's gone bottom lane. He's used his invis as well, and this has not been spotted by the lane observer ward. This should get a kill.
EGM, he'll walk right into Luna and Ancient Apparition. Yamaha, without a moment's hesitation, pops the Eclipse, finds himself a solo kill. Very well done, but S4, he'll bump right into Stress. Invisibility rune on. He's going to try to catch him in the cogs here. We'll go Battery Assault first. Batrider throws a stack of sticky napalm, and this should be an easy kill. Axe on the other side of the tree line. Well, it doesn't help out too much, but an easy kill. So at least they make it a 1-for-1, support for support, but an unfortunate fate for the Bane.
Yeah, because Clockwork rotating with an Invis rune and TPing bottom, so for Cleave, they dodge a bullet there that they don't lose their Luna to the Clockwork. S4 was really waiting, didn't go in the AA right away, wanted to try and catch Luna. Tinker cancel his TP bottom. Mag goes in with an RP here. They want S4, but I don't know if they've got the damage to bring him down here. Tinker with a TP cancel isn't actually there, ready to go. Clockwork gets burst down. Shockwave and a Lucent Beam. And now Admiral Bulldog, he's in trouble. Laser, as well as a couple right clicks, will bring him down. Lotus shows up to the party as well. He wants Zacho. Zacho is going to go down. Magnus without the RP. 2 familiars on the Aki, and he's actually brought down. Alliance are just falling one by one. Luckily for Loda, he's got an Infest to hide in the creep, but he's going to survive this, I imagine, but, well, that's still a bad fight for Alliance.
Yeah, in comes EGM, though. He is level 6 now, does have the Fiend's Grip online, will use it on Yamaha. They want this. EGM will survive. Loda in the front lines, dangerously low, will rage and retreat. Now S4, he's rejoined the battle, no hookshot available. So they find a recovery kill on the high-profile target, which, of course, is the Luna. But, yeah, very underwhelming engage for Alliance. The March of the Machine doing some serious work there. I'm surprised that Alliance took that fight with the March overhead.
Yeah, fighting versus Tinker once he has the boot to travel, big trouble. He's actually maxed the missiles before the March Machine, which is slightly even better in a fight like that, because unless Alliance are just sitting in your March, tanking it up, generally people say, okay, March is there, let's run, but you can't run from the missiles. If you've got vision, they're going to be chipping away at you. Oh, mid lane, hookshot
Tinker's in some big trouble. Yeah, hookshot connects. Loda's there with an open wounds. Easy kill coming out for Alliance. And that is great news. Shutting down the Tinker and also getting another kill on Loda. He's now on a killing spree, 3-0-0. That is great news for Alliance. And oh, look at the luck. He'll move straight into a regeneration rune. Oh, Loda, you lucky dog.
He's going to go, back towards the top lane and keep on farming. It gave AA a bit of space, got him some levels. He's got his max chilling touch now. And
middle tower is under attack.
I feel Cleave, they need to sort of sit back and farm a bit. Even though they've got their key levels on your Visage, your AA, your Tinker's got his Boots of Travel. Your Tinker needs a Blink Dagger at this point. Your Luna needs BKB, and Mag needs Blink Dagger as well. So for now, they kind of want to focus more on farming and counter-ganking.
Oh, Admiral Bulldog, he was trying to be sneaky, but it'll bite him in the ass as Yamaha comes in. Another easy Eclipse secures the kill onto Admiral Bulldog, and yeah, S4 will retreat. So very unfortunate right there. Tried to make the big plays, but they clear the trees, and well, the jig is up, as they say. Interesting item choice on Loda as well. He did go for a Maelstrom first item after the Hand of Midas came out.
Yeah, it is interesting. What do you make of the Maelstrom?
Well, it's not a bad item in terms of raw DPS, but it doesn't give you anything in the way of survivability. So obviously Loda's feeling pretty confident in his ability to survive these team fights, which I don't know. It makes me a little bit nervous. That Armlet is a great item on Lifestealer because it gives you damage, but it also gives you some survivability with that Armlet toggle, and you don't get that same kind of survivability utility from a Maelstrom.
Yeah, I guess he could maybe go back to the Armlet, but I think Maelstrom short term is one of the most cost-effective damage items when you've got the attack speed.
Down bottom, Yamaha in some trouble as he gets caught inside of a lasso. Axe nearby as well. Nowhere for the Luna to go. Doesn't even have an Eclipse up anyhow. Meanwhile, on the bottom side of this fight, Magnus coming in. A huge RP. Will finish off the Clockwork as well as the Bat Rider. And Ake, he's in some trouble as well. He may fall. Down he goes to one last Shockwave. Magnus with the plays. And again, Alliance, they find an ineffective exchange.
This is where you can shut down a Mag, but he gets levels, he gets his Arcane Boots, and he just needs to just show up to fights and make stuff like that happen. And suddenly you've got a big hero, you've got a big player in Zacho. And this guy, I haven't heard of him before today, but he's had a fantastic game. Not many players can have such a big impact when they get zoned out so hard in lane.
Now we will see a smoke from the Bane and Lifestealer on the side of Alliance as they rotate down towards bottom. There is a Fiend's Grip available. Magnus will walk right into it. Fiend's Grip right away. Open wounds. And that will be an easy kill. EGM the one to grab the last hit as the support ports out. Well done by Alliance. A good read that the team would port out and not walk as one unit. And they find their way into a recovery kill. And that makes that exchange a 3 for 3.
Yeah.
If you count that in the end. So well done.
It's a nice little pickup, but it's still a Fiend's Grip. You had to smoke to get there as well, so it's still a pretty big investment. And it's something where they were hoping to get multiple kills and probably a bit more out of it, because right now Cleave already have a couple heroes top farming. They're they lose a mag who, I guess he was very close to the blink dagger, so slowing down that blink is quite important, but...
Well, it's also important to note that now Alliance have cleared out all 3 of the Tier 1 towers. While that fight was happening, they took out the Tier 1 mid, and then they were able to rotate bottom while keeping their Tier 1 in the bottom lane alive. So even though they didn't really win the hero exchange battle, they did win the tower exchange battle in that one.
Yeah, that's giving them a sizable lead here. The like 5k-ish? Yeah.
7,500.
Wow, over 5k. So they've got a big gold lead even though they're down 2 kills, and a lot of that's coming from these towers. Also having that farmer axe in the jungle as well, while Cleave have 2 supports who aren't really farming, who are just playing more defensively, going for the kills and just backing up teammates. So.
And some big items have been picked up. We've seen the blink on Bulldog, but he's working towards his Force Staff. Ake now has his Vanguard up, pretty darn close to that blink with about 1.5k in the bank. And speak of the devil, Loda over here will pick up an armlet following the Maelstrom, so he will go for a little bit more of a tanky survivability-based item. After that, raw glass cannon Maelstrom.
Well, Tinker's going for an unorthodox build. He's going for the Force Staff instead of the Blink Dagger. I mean, 9 times out of 10 you'll see the Blink Dagger, but against a Clockwork, against heroes like Axe Snakes, he probably just feels that he's going to need the Force Staff out. And even a hero like Axe, you get Battle Hunger on you, you can't actually blink out. So this will probably work out pretty well for him. He may go for a blink as well, but generally you want to go for your big item after either your Force or your blink. You want to go for either the Dagon build or the Hex. So I don't think he'll get both.
Yeah, one or the other. Visage does now have the Medallion of Courage up, and an Ogre Club probably working towards that Ag Scepter, though still a ways off. Loda's in pretty good shape. He's just about to break 10k, 5 digits on the net worth chart, and Luna trailing behind at about 7.5, 7.4 on the net worth. So she is still a little bit underfarmed, still very squishy. After that Hand of Midas, haven't really seen too much out of her. She does have an Ogre Club. Is there a BKB coming on the Courier? Nope, just a Mithril Hammer. So still a ways off that magic immunity. And not quite ready for these team fights.
Yeah, it does feel like maybe with this Mag Blink they can take a fight. Mag also about to hit that level 11, gets the second point in his ulti, so the extra stun duration will help quite a lot. And if they can chain that with the familiar stuns, they have a lot of lockdown in a fight. And Alliance, not a BKB lineup, all they've got is the Lifestealer Rage, so that doesn't work against the Mag RP, and they're going to be they have to be very careful about overextending or overcommitting to a fight when you're up against the Magnus.
Looks like Cleave did want to find an engage onto Clockwork, but now it's going to be the other way around. Long-range hookshot from S4. They drop Luna before this fight even really starts. Bane is on the other side of the tree line and looking for an opening. Did use a Brain Sap to help secure that kill, but the forces from Cleave will retreat to the Tier 2 and they'll survive. Well done by Alliance. A great pick from S4. Not only did they grab a kill, but on probably the most valuable target, the hard-farming Luna.
Yeah. Well, Nax is infested into the Bat Rider, and they're looking for blood here. Loda has got an armlet, so he did go back for that in the end. They're going to find the Visage here. There's no way out for Roger. He should go down. Loda pops out. We'll bring him down. Mag has a blink RP, but the Firefly going to stop that one. And
yeah, and a huge bounty going the way of Admiral Bulldog there. It's about an 800 gold or so. He was 6-0-0 on that Visage. That's a very high target or high value kill there.
And yeah, Admiral Bulldog already with Blink Dagger 4 stuff. He's got all the items he needs, but he'll happily pick up whatever else he can with that extra gold now. And it looks like Alliance talked about how they were getting all the Tier 1 towers. They're now ready to start thinking about Tier 2s because they've got a lot of heroes grouped up bottom, and probably feel like Cleave may struggle to defend these towers without Luna's BKB, but they have got Tinker, so pushing against Tinker is always tricky.
True, and Luna is level 11, so she's got a level 2 Eclipse online, and it is off cooldown right now. They have big cooldowns here between the RP as well as the Eclipse, and then the March of the Machine like you mentioned, and even the AA ulti. They have a lot of potential to defend, and AA is another hero that's very difficult to push into. So Alliance will find themselves struggling, I think, to break the Tier 2s if they try to do a 5-man assault. But they've been doing a great job putting pressure on multiple lanes, splitting the forces of Cleave, and that is not where their roster shines.
Yeah, I mean, Tinker does okay pushing lanes by himself, but there's so many heroes that can actually isolate him and kill him. You just need Axe +1 with a Blink Dagger on your Axe. You've got an infested Lifestealer into the Bat Rider. This is not a fun game to be a Tinker when you're up against Bat Rider, Clockwork, and Axe. 3 heroes with long-range initiations. Bane and the Lifestealer also do well if you can actually lock him down. So, tough game for Lolek on this Tinker.
Yep, absolutely. Now, it looks like S4, considering an initiation in the mid lane, there will be a port in from Loda. And now Axe will be nearby as well. Ake with the Blink Dagger. He'll hop forward. He catches Yamaha. And now the Mag getting cornered by the Magnus. He'll skewer away. In comes the Bat Rider. There's the lasso, and it ends up being a 2-0. Clockwork secures the kill on Magnus, and the rest of them secure the kill on Luna.
Yeah, and they can back off now, go for Roshan if they want, go for tier 2 towers. They've got a lot of control over this game, and looks like they're happy just to push multiple lanes, but S4's alone at bottom, so he does need to be careful. TP in from the Tinker, they want to bring him down here, tries to force stuff out. The Cog's placed as well, but Tinker just maneuvers his way around with the force stuff, and that was just a bit too over-aggressive from S4.
Yeah, good read from Cleave as well to see that the rest of the team had sort of retreated and left him behind. Now Ake coming in, he will throw a taunt out onto Ancient Apparition, trying to pull him out of position, really just creating space here while the rest of his team pressures the tier 2 in the mid lane. And it seems to be working. He will port out to safety. And yeah, makes it back to the base. I don't think they'll be able to finish off this tower, but they get it down to about half health. So a crafty little play. And I guess you could sort of call that a victory for Alliance. Maybe not since they lost their Clockwork, but after Clockwork going down, handled well.
Yeah. They're farming well. Like they've got Loda still farming at the top lane. Probably going to pick up that Basher shortly with the Javelin on himself. And he's going to get tier 2 tower as well. A ultimately going to go flying. Will hit, but he should be fine. Oh, with a Maggie, this is a kill. Yeah. Okay.
Nothing the Loda can do. Well done. I still probably a better exchange for Alliance, even though he fell. He didn't buy items before he died, which was a little bit unfortunate. But getting a solo kill on the tower as Lifestealer, I think he'll be happy to suicide for that, honestly.
Yeah, it's the gold is still slightly in his favor, but the Magnus getting a kill will help him out. One of the things which is annoying as a Lifestealer or any hero getting armlet against AA Ice Blast, because it does prevent you. You're taking damage from the AA Ice Blast, and you're more likely to get blown up by it. You can't actually pop the armlet to gain HP. So
right, that's a good point. Yeah,
maybe partly why he didn't go for it right away, but he did go back for it because it's such a great item always, and you're not going to have the Ice Blast continuously on you. Yeah,
like you pointed out in the last match, it's not a very reliable spell. Sure, you'll be able to get it up at those crucial moments when you need it, but it's not one of those spammable abilities that you can just always assume that you'll have Ice Blast on you. Yeah. So even though Armlet won't work in some scenarios, I think it's definitely still a worthwhile pickup here. And we'll see if Loda wants to grab the Basher. Nope, he'll just walk away with his 2.4k gold. Well, maybe just pull up for buyback before he makes an investment. Although we could see a fight break out in the mid lane here as Alliance do port to their tier 1 in the mid.
Tinker's ready to get there as well, though. He's actually building towards an Aghanim Scepter, so...
Interesting.
We'll see the Ags Tinker. It makes him a lot tankier, so I kind of like this. Hex is nice and all, but there's just all these long-range initiations, and against long-range guaranteed initiations, you need just the survivability, which Ags will give you a bit of.
Oh no, Luna gets caught by the Bat Rider in the lasso, and Yamaha will fall before this engage even starts. That's that initiation power of Alliance we were talking about.
Yeah.
Really starting to shine. They're doing a great job of picking on these high-profile targets, and now Loda is just way ahead of the Luna by about 3.5k gold or so, and that's damn significant for only 24 minutes.
Yeah, and this is where often you'll look at a lineup like Cleave and you think Luna getting BKB is a big timing for them. Like, they can fight, they can push them, but against long-range initiation lineups and like heroes like Bat Rider, Clockwork, it's just not the case, because you can have a BKB, but they will kill you and punish you. Oh, Loda, is he gonna... Oh,
that infest. That was close.
Yeah, if he didn't infest there, he's dead. He finds a regen rune, though.
Oh, wow.
Second one of the game. He's having some luck with these.
Well-timed regeneration runes, Loda. Well done.
Oh, lose a couple familiars. That's a bit silly. That Courier actually went down?
The Dire Courier, yeah. I'm not sure where it was, but...
I didn't catch that one. I think the Familiars would have got... The Familiars died in Roshan, so I'm guessing it was the Familiars that sniped the Courier.
And it looks like Cleave do want to make a contest in the Roche pit. They don't have great vision right now. They don't have confirmation that Alliance have backed out, though it will be revealed with Loda in the mid lane. And they'll just rotate into their jungle. See those March of Machines going crazy. As Tinker is now starting to pick up some momentum. He's, well, a little bit more than halfway to the Ag Scepter, so... Well, he's getting there, but I can't help but feel like the Ags is a little bit underwhelming on Tinker. Like, it's okay, but compared to a Sheep Stick, I agree with what you said. He needs to be tanky, but, I mean, Sheep gives you a little bit of tankiness as well with the Ultimate Orb.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's an odd pick, and I'm not sure how I feel about it.
It's hard to react. Like, Alliance, when they jump on you with a Clockwork Hook, a Batrider lasso and like a Lifestealer infested, like how do you react as a Tinker if you've got a Hexer? Like you can't Hex a Lifestealer, he immediately rages.
Yeah.
The Clockwork's already in there with Cogs plus Hookshot down. The Batrider, I guess, is the one hero who you might want to try Hex when he blink lassos, but it's a hard response, and I guess the Axe gives him just that bit of extra damage output as well. The long-range laser's not going to be all that useful. It's more about the extra rocket missiles and the tankiness from it.
Yeah, I guess that's the big beef I have with the Clockwork Ags is it to make up for the fact that it doesn't buff the ultimate, it buffs 2 abilities, but the laser buff seems useless. I mean, double range on it does that ever really come in handy?
Against some heroes, against like some right-click carries, yes. Like against a hero like a Void, he chronospheres your team, and having that extra range gives you the ability to laser him.
That's a really good
sooner.
example, actually. Yeah, still be able to control him while he's inside chrono. That's a good
It helps against a lot of right-click. It's not about the damage. It's about the miss percent. So it's always, with the extra range, you've got to think of it's like a disarm. So it gives you an extra like double range for a long-range disarm, but still counted by BKB.
Yeah. Well, top tier 1 tower will fall for Alliance, but they will secure a Roshan in the mix, and there is also a pipe up as well, which is an interesting but smart choice here, I think. Also, Loda now has an MKB to go with the Maelstrom and Armlet, so he is definitely more than online at this point. It is Clockwork that picked up the pipe, and Axe, he hasn't picked up anything else following that blink. He's only got 1,000 in the bank. There will be a 5-man smoke from Alliance. Admiral Bulldog in the front lines. He now has a Mask of Madness as well. He'll find Roger. He'll pull him back into the team, and Visage should fall before this fight really starts. Axe hops in. They drop the Ancient Apparition. Now the Visage will fall. They will get a kill on the Batrider, though.
Whoops. That was... Axe just jumped past ignoring the Visage, because they're like, okay, Visage is dead, let's try to get a second kill on the AA, but that kind of led to Batrider's death, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Because they couldn't bring down the Visage fast enough, so he got off that extra soul assumption.
Yeah, so they do keep their gem alive, though, even though it does fall. Actually, that was Batrider's gem, right?
Batrider was the one carrying it, I believe. It's actually still sitting here by the secret shop.
Bane has...
Oh, no, okay, so there's another gem.
Okay.
You see this on the right of the secret shop, there's another gem sitting there. I'll ping it for you.
Yeah, ping it out here, gods. I'm blind. Oh, they put it in the trees. I see. There it is. Yeah, it must have been the Radiant.
It must have been a Radiant gem. So.
I like that crafty play from Alliance. Just hide it in the trees so that they can't find it since they have one of their own. Smart play. So it was a 2-for-1, but an even bigger exchange for Alliance as the gem was
Tinker almost brought down at bottom.
Oh, he does get dropped down. Well done by Admiral Bulldog. Finishes him off with a flame break.
Yeah. And yeah, with this Mask of Madness, he just gets all around the map so fast. He'll probably sell his Tranquil Boots soon, get the Boots of Travel, and then he can just TP anywhere on the map as well as having that insane movement speed.
Yeah, and also a mech is up on Axe. That's the item that I wanted to make mention of. It was on the courier when it got picked off. I saw it picked, but forgot that it wasn't in the inventory. So another big teamfight item for Alliance. Obviously, will give Axe a little bit of armor. Just an all-around good pickup. And
yeah,
well, basically a position for Axe, so it does make sense that he would grab a mech. Meanwhile, in the base, though, Luna just in big trouble. A nice RP from the Magnus will buy Luna some time. Admiral Bulldog will blink to his death, but they end up getting the kill on the Moonrider. Magnus gets picked off as well. Now down goes the Visage. Magnus will buy back, but basically everything is on cooldown here. Not basically. Everything except Empower is on cooldown, so he won't be able to do a hell of a lot with this buyback, I don't think.
S4 just hooks himself out of there. They're going to maybe get this tower, but it looks like they do want to back off with Tinker on the front lines here, just dropping the march, the missiles as well. This will force Alliance home. They've lost their Batrider here. Loda's gotten really quite... Well, he did get quite low. He's back up to full more or less full HP now after using an Infest, and they may actually just go for a turnaround.
They won it. Alliance did smoke up. They're going to bait with Loda outside the base. AA ultimate.
Not going to find anyone.
Why? Oh, just trying to scout here. Yeah. See if anyone's back in the base.
Well, Loda was like
smart
sub 100 HP until he used that Infest. And I think the AA was thinking, hey, maybe this will get a kill. But Alliance are all healed up. They're good to go. They can maybe even look to break the high ground. Mech plus pipe.
Yeah.
Batrider's just respawned. He's just going to walk his way in. He's ready to go with a lasso in 2 seconds.
Yeah, the glyph is down. The tower has already been killed, so there is a pretty big window of opportunity for Alliance here if they want to force the issue, though they don't have to. Luna still has Eclipse available. They know RP is on cooldown, But they really just don't have to force the issue here. I mean, look at the net worth chart. Now Loda, 19K versus the 11 of Luna. At this point, Axe has actually surpassed the primary farmer on Team Cleave. So Alliance are really in great shape here. 20,000 gold and experience lead. They've got nothing to worry about. It's interesting to see. This is one of these games where the kill score is relatively even, but Alliance have just been so much more effective about farming around the map.
Yeah, you wouldn't believe that this Luna had Midas like a good 2-3 minutes before Loda did it, with the net worth where they are now. And Cleave are just stuck in their own base. They can't really make a move out, and sitting in their own base, it's still just waiting for Alliance to jump them. Batrider's probably going to get a pick off. Then you've got the Lifestealer who can infest in either the Axe or the Clockwork, and that's another pick off. So this is just going to be so tricky for Cleave to deal with.
Yep, there is a sentry ward down here, even though Loda was invisible. And he'll figure it out as the creeps did give him that little tap on the shoulder. Hey, bro, I can see you. And he will also help reveal the smokes of Cleave when they were in the base. But this is where Tinker really does well in turtling up. It's so hard to just push into that march.
And he's got Ags, so there's your 4 missiles coming out. Problem is you need vision, which is kind of hard to get. You can get it with the AA Ice Vortex, but that means AA has to move forward to plant them, and that's where you're going to get jumped by a Batrider or Clockwork. So AA can't even really cast Ice Vortex without going down.
Ake blinks forward with the surprise inside, but everyone on Cleave is just a bit too far back. And they aren't able to do much. They will just pop the infest, and now they go straight for the buildings. BKB popped by Luna as Admiral Bulldog hops forward. Axe as well as Bane will get dropped before this fight even starts. Magnus now killed by the Lifestealer. Aegis will get popped, and Loda will be coming back here. Long-range hookshot connects with stress. AA should fall. Visage will fall to the wrath of Lifestealer now that he's come back from his nap. And it will end as a 3-for-3. As Clockwork gets picked off, the rockets from Tinker doing some work, though it doesn't matter. Alliance got what they came for. The melee racks fall, and they will make the retreat.
That was just an awful fight for Alliance. It doesn't really matter just because of how far ahead they are and the fact they had the Aegis. If they didn't have the Aegis, they get wiped there and hardly get a kill. But Alliance are a bit lucky to walk away with a Rax there as well as I mean, they got a couple kills, not any key kills on with Luna. Tinker still standing, but that was just, I'd say poor fight for Alliance, but Cleave just got a perfect RP, and once again, it was the mag. It was Zacho just finding the openings he needed for Cleave, and that, while they still lose a Rax there, they got a lot of crucial kills there. They wiped out the Aegis, so that buys them some time to just get the next couple of items up and maybe stay in this game.
Yeah, they have a chance, though. I'm feeling a little bit grim. Loda is just out of control.
Yeah.
That's what's really scary here,
That's ridiculous farm. He's got 5k suddenly.
Yeah, and I mean, Loda made the right call to grab an early MKB, a good read, because Luna has just now finished the butterfly, and unfortunately, Yamaha will never really feel the full benefit of that 35% evasion, because MKB is already up, and Lifestealer will be able to cut right through it once he gets up in her face. And as we've talked about a number of times here, there's plenty of initiation, and it shouldn't be too difficult to get Loda into the proper position. We see he's already infested inside Admiral Bulldog here in the bottom lane, looking for an opening, but of course they won't find it as all 5 of Cleave about the mid lane, and it looks like they want to take out the last remaining Tier 1 tower on the map.
Yeah. Bloody EGM's got a Shadow Blade. Oh man, this guy does not play support. And this is a game where Axe's got 150. Aki's got 150 CS, and then your Bane, your 5 position support, has a Shadow Blade.
That's usually a good sign that your team's in good shape. Stress will get caught by the lasso from Admiral Bulldog, and he will get obliterated. An easy 1-for-0 going the way of Alliance to get things started. Not good for Cleave here.
Not good at all. Loda picks up his next big item, Heart of Tarask. And this is nice. This is just raw HP, which is what's going to keep you alive against the AA ulti, the Tinker spam. You just need the HP. You walk back. Even if you get brought down to a 3rd HP, the heart regen ticks in, and then you're good to go again. So it's a nice little pickup to have here. And this may be what they need to just break the base once again, get another Rax.
Yep, and Clockwork is reasonably close to his Ag Scepter as well. He's got about 2.3 in the bank with the point booster already in tow. Roshan coming up in about 2 minutes, so if Alliance find themselves struggling at all, they can just retreat and try and keep map control and prepare for second Rosh. Luna will be up in the top lane and will pressure the top tier 2. Port coming in as the glyph is used. Yamaha will take that as a signal to port out, but oh no, it gets interrupted by Bulldog with a flame break. This should be a kill, perhaps. BKB, Eclipse used, and basically no damage comes out.
He's stranded here. TP coming in to support him with the Tinker.
But can they make it happen? Wow, they get a kill on Bulldog. S4, unfortunately, is just a little bit too low. Didn't want to hookshot in. He does have an Infest Bomb ready. Yamaha is just a kill waiting to happen. No Eclipse, no BKB if he can connect with this hook shot. Oh,
Radiant's middle
S4.
barracks are
He's still got
under
a 4
attack.
staff, and I think this is still Yamaha dead.
Yeah, there's the Infest Bomb, and it will end up being a pretty easy kill. In comes the Magnus, though. RP, not the best use of the RP cooldown.
I think he was trying to... He thought maybe he could save the Luna, but it was just a
It's too late.
bit of a gut reflex and a bit too late, so
Yeah.
no
Wow.
RP.
That's
And-
unfortunate. I mean, it's a
Radiant's
pretty
middle
lengthy
barracks are
cooldown as
under
well at
attack.
110 seconds.
And they've got 1 minute without Luna as well. Does have buyback, but like you're buying back to fight without RP, so...
Yeah, and it's not like a Luna has
Radiant's
Eclipse
middle
either,
barracks
which is
are
kind
under
of crucial.
attack.
Just a disaster for Cleave. They didn't even get the tier 2 tower as well. It was a nice kill on Bulldog, but unfortunately trading their Luna for Bat Rider is not an exchange they should be looking to make right now.
Yeah, and D-Warding coming out from EGM. Alliance is just looking to get map control here. Just try and starve Cleave as much as possible. They already know that Cleave, for the most part, have to stay in their own base. Whenever they do move out, like we saw at the top lane, they're doing so at great risk, and that's where Alliance can just find those pickoffs. They've got the lineup to punish any sort of aggression, not even aggression, but any sort of venturing out of their base that Cleave might do.
And now Admiral Bulldog pressing forward. He'll blink into the base looking for a lasso. Does not find it. And, well, they'll just find a ward there. It looks like it was just a sentry, but... Still Alliance with just absolute map control. Like you said, Cleave cornered in their base. The longer Alliance can just slow bleed them. Well, the further ahead they will climb. Roche has respawned, and it looks like Alliance have scouted it out as Loda moves into the pit. He'll go ahead and pick up a Blade Mail as his 6th item to replace the Hand of Midas.
It's interesting. Like, you've got 5 or 4 big kind of tier 3, tier 4 items, and then you go back for a Blade Mail, which is a cheap little item.
Yeah, I guess thinking, I mean,
It's
armor doesn't
Tinker.
hurt here.
They
Yeah.
just want to deal with Tinker. They're going to
That's
try and... This is how they're going to break the high ground, is basically by having multiple heroes pop Blade Mail, I believe. Right now it's only one hero they've got it on, but Tinker takes a lot of damage from that. If you get 3 heroes with a Blade Mail and sit in March of the Machines, Tinker just dies, even if he's that fountain.
Right. Yeah, that's true. It's huge. That's a good way to deal with the Tinker.
They need more Blade Mail, so like Aki's gone for a Shiver's Guard. I mean, Admiral Bulldog could get one. They've got a few heroes who... I mean, they've got lots of great Blade Mail heroes. Clockwork, it fits great on, so... It's just a matter of actually buying them and deciding that's what they want to go for.
Yeah, you mentioned the Shivas on Axe. He's starting to get pretty stacked, and also the Ag Scepter is now up on Clockwork. And interestingly enough, Clockwork was the one to grab the Aegis from second Roche, not the Lifestealer, because he is 6-slotted, and S4 is the one in the front lines, especially now that he has that ridiculously short cooldown on Hookshot. He can afford to be much more aggressive with this Aegis of the Immortal. There is a smoke here by Cleave, but Roger will get revealed, and now he's in some trouble. Open wounds come out. Oh no, a solo RP just on Loda. He'll get Fiend's Grip right away. Yamaha does use the Eclipse, but he'll get lassoed by Bulldog and pulled off the screen. Magnus, Visage, Tinker, all getting obliterated. The Ancient Apparition falls shortly after. Luna is still alive off to the side here, but he's stuck on the high ground. What a play from Admiral Bulldog. Just has him completely isolated. S4 hook shots up. Will actually cog him down into the low ground.
Oh, he's got the kill!
Bulldog will actually fall.
I think he can... S4 does not want to fight him. Oh, maybe with a hook. With a hook he can.
Oh, the battery assault. Hook shot for the kill.
He's damaging him with battery assault without taking damage because he's on the high ground. Like, the fog battery assault.
Gosh, that was
clowny.
That was a little bit clowny.
That was
Tinker-
some, like, demon Dota right there.
Yeah, that's so Jimmy. So Tinker does buy back, but
another hook.
it will cost him. Great cogs, push him closer to the tier 1 tower, right into Loda. Beyond godlike, coming out for Loader there on the Lifestealer. Level 24, 28k on the net worth chart. The last glyph gets used, and S4, he may fall.
Oh,
Chilling
Shockwave
touch
misses.
on. Will he shatter? Yep, that procs the Aegis. But
Well.
Alliance just... Yeah, they're coming out way ahead in this fight, I think, needless to say.
Yeah, Lotus Heart regen's kicking in now, so he'll be ready to go in once again fairly soon. They've still only got the mid-raxers, so they have to be a bit careful. But when I say a bit careful, they've got themselves a 30k gold lead almost, and
Yeah.
it's not really something Cleave can turn around, at least not with their lineup. Their late game, you've got Tinker as well as Luna, but Tinker is just got nothing as far as items go, and Luna... Well, the butterfly you talked about, already countered by the MKB on Loader. This is just not going to work out for them.
Yeah, now Bat Rider hops forward, lasso onto Roger, and Visage is in big trouble. Yeah.
Well, that's all she wrote.
Yeah, we're basically in GG territory at this point. I think Cleave could tap out at pretty much any time now, and it would be understandable. Alliance should be able to take this bottom lane of Rax. Both of them will be cleaned up. And yeah, they're on the last leg. Maybe one last hurrah with their 3 heroes that are alive. Loda will just go straight in onto the Luna. She'll get force stabbed back, and we'll survive to tell the tale for now.
And here come the blade mails. Aki picks one up, your Clockworks picked one up, so they've got triple blade mails now. Not that it's going to make much difference, but something they could have gone for early if they wanted to use it against the Tinker to break high ground, because he's not really prepared and doesn't have the items.
EG have no gold worth it. Guess he bought his items
Spent it all.
before he suicided.
Oh, he got a blade mail, so it's 4 blade mail. Jeez.
Yep, wow.
What's
And
next with the Daedalus? I'm not sure what he's... I guess maybe he sells his armlet? Like, he just bought this blade mail. You can't sell your blade mail when you bought it 2 minutes ago.
yeah, that was his 6th item. Yeah, it's interesting. I don't know. Maybe... Yeah, that's the only... It's either that... It's got to be that or the armlet. All the others are too big ticket just to sell back to the vendor. Uh-oh, in the mid lane, Ake in some trouble. He will be in a 1v3 scenario. Negative earn charge on, and Luna will finish him off. And, yeah, does catch it with the Loosened Beam. Eclipse is still available here as S4 hops in. Does connect with the Tinker. Cogs on. His Blade Mail, unfortunately, is still in the bank. Yamaha will use the Eclipse, but he gets killed. Ancient Apparition gets picked off in the fray. Down goes the Tinker as well. Visage, the only one left alive, but not for long. That is a full 5-man wipe going the way of Alliance. Tier 4s are all that's left. There we go. Gods, the GG well-playeds come out.
Now, Live and Let Loda has 16-1-7. This was just a beast of a game coming in from Loda. He really just set the tempo for Alliance, and you had your 2 solos, Admiral Bulldog and S4, just going around the map, wreaking havoc, and just going for those ganks. Even if S4 didn't have the most success early on, he found those kills later when it really mattered.
Yeah, you're absolutely right about that. And Loda just had so much room to move, like you were talking about. And even the Axe, a hero that doesn't come online too quickly, had plenty of time. There was nothing slowing him down, absolutely no pressure going his way. And when you have a dedicated jungler like that, if you can get away with it, then you absolutely will have a more efficient laning phase, and that's what we saw from Alliance. Out of the gate, they were just a hop and a skip ahead. And even though Cleave played reasonably well, a team that we don't know too much about, 42 minutes in, 23-36. It was even-ish, Gods. It was given how one-sided it was with Alliance being the favorites. I think Cleave gave us a pretty good game.
Yeah, I've got to say, Cleave this is nowhere near as one-sided as I thought it'd be. Cleave looked good. They had an early game kill advantage, even though Alliance just were more efficient, farmed a lot better, just had a bit of a laning advantage. So they look good, and this is promising as far as they've just come up from the Pro Series. It's a team you kind of look at and say, hey, maybe they go the whole season, only win 1, 2, 3 games, if that. So to think that they could actually give some of these teams a run for their money, maybe not Na'Vi, maybe not Alliance, but teams sort of in the middle of the pack. Yeah. Realistically, I mean, this is a team who knows. They may take games off teams like Virtus Pro or Sigma. I think they have what it takes. They played good Dota.
Yeah, I think so as well. Maybe just make some tweaks, but all in all, looking pretty good. Now let's take a look at our schedule coming up today. That was game 2 of 4, and coming up in about 10 minutes or so, we've got Na'Vi versus Team Ahead. So we're going to be able to take a short break here and then hop right into it, Gods.
Okay, sounds good, man.
All right.